Now I'm doing about $15,000 a month. I decided to make a couple of experiments. You don't have case studies, you don't have anything. If you understand the sales copyright, you can get the clients like straight away.
You got 240 invites on Upwork.
Nothing more important than feedback on Upwork. Nothing.
My first two jobs were each for $60, and they each took me like 4 or 5 hours, so less than ideal.
You know, the budget is pretty significant. Last year, I spent on connects $4,700.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today we have Anton calling in from Ukraine. He's earned hundreds of thousands of dollars on Upwork for his video editing agency. So Anton, welcome to the channel.
Thanks, Nico. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, of course. So as you know, today we're going to talk about what we would do differently if we were to start over on Upwork. But before we get into that, I just want to give you a chance to introduce yourself. So if you want to just tell everyone who you are and what you do and how you first got started on Upwork, that would be awesome.
Awesome. Thank you. Hey, everyone. My name is Anton. I'm located in Kyiv, Ukraine. I started my journey on Upwork in October 2022. It's been already been a full-scale war in Ukraine. It's through blackouts, through missile attacks and everything. But it's not been a lot of things to do a business in Ukraine. So I should work on the US market, the Western markets, and I had no different opportunities. And I did a good job, I think. And I built a small agency on Upwork. Now I'm doing about $15,000 a month with my agency, maybe 7 or 8 on Upwork, and the rest on the different platforms like LinkedIn, Twitter, other platforms. But overall, I want to tell you today how Upwork is the cornerstone of my business, like all the business on the internet.
Awesome.
So let's start our discussion about that.
Yeah, for sure. So when you first got started on Upwork, were you already running your video editing agency, or did you start out as more of a freelancer and then kind of evolve to an agency over time?
Yeah, I evolved to the agency over time, and it's an interesting thing because when I started, I decided to document my story on my YouTube channel. So I remember that day, it was October 1st, 2022. I just sit in the room, put a record button and said, all right, guys, I want to start building a freelance business at that time. But I knew that it's going to be probably an agency because I had some understanding of the business overall. But I decided just to say, hi, everyone. I'm trying to build an Upwork scene. I'm trying to build a freelance business. And it could be honestly said that I started with no experience in sales on the Western markets, only experience of running business in Ukraine offline, no online business.
That's
so
awesome.
It's nice.
Yeah, that's incredible. And what made you decide to choose Upwork versus other platforms like Fiverr or anything else?
It's a good question because whether I knew a couple of freelancers, successful guys from Ukraine who is working many years, and I just decided to scan different platforms. At the time, I didn't have all the information how I can get all the information from different platforms. So I just scanned different platforms and watched their profiles. And when I come to Upwork, I just see that how much more trustworthy it is. Because you see the number of contracts performed, you see the number of money, you see feedback, you see everything, and it's just from the first glance it became much more much more trustworthy to me. And in this first episode, I didn't state that I plan to did an Upwork thing. I want to do a freelance thing, but like after a couple of weeks of, I registered a different platform, but I realized that Upwork is the easiest thing to start. And overall, it doesn't matter because of where you start. Because when you're like keep going, it's you can expand later. But to start it, I from the like the most trustworthy thing that I could find at the time.
Yeah, awesome for sure. And how did you first get that first client on Upwork? Because obviously, like I'm sure a lot of people watching this are at the point where they have Upwork accounts, but they're struggling to get that first client because obviously the barrier of entry to Upwork is at the beginning, meaning it's tough to get
Yeah,
the first client, but it gets easier and easier and easier every time you sign
yeah,
another client.
absolutely.
So I was curious, like, what was the strategy you used to get the first client? Did you do short proposals, long proposals, really personalized? And yeah, I'd love to hear about that.
It's tricky thing because I don't actually think that there are like wrong or right tactics to write proposals because it's more like genuine or not, like it's a copy paste
Yeah.
or not, it's a template or not. But overall, at that point, I didn't know that. I just started doing just I just watched a tutorial somewhere, or maybe I can't recall right now, but I remember that it was just just sort of a tutorial what parts should include your portfolio. And it's funny that as a video editor, I didn't have a single case study. I didn't have anything. So I just included more videos from my YouTube channel to the case studies part. Here is links to my work, and that's it. And I just applied to a simple job. So it wasn't that cool at the time, but overall it worked. And right now, a lot of guys are asking me because I'm running this channel. A lot of people are asking me how to start with no portfolio. Just do anything over weekend, create a video, create a design website or whatever, and put it in the portfolio, in the case studies, and it's working. It's clearly working.
Yeah. No, it's such good advice because I think a lot of people think you need to have, done prior work for other clients to get started on Upwork or to even have like portfolio items on Upwork, but you can just create examples of your work for yourself. It doesn't have to be for an outside client and display those inside the portfolio section of your profile. And yeah, that works phenomenally.
Yeah,
And how long did
absolutely.
it take you? Yeah, how long did it take you to get that first client on Upwork? Because I know, for me, it took me months, and I think a lot of people kind of struggled to get that first one. But I was curious, like, how quickly were you able to get yours?
Yeah, I got it probably in like 10 days or so. But I've been like I'm really a disciplined person, so I've been sending a lot of them. And I remember that um, I just did a math and understood that I need a lot of connects to send them. And I remember that I bought connect for $100 or $120 or something like that. And the first month I earned like $100. And it was like 20 or $17 in net loss. It was a funny, but because it's not funny when you're like have no money, and it's not funny. But now I understand that it was a necessary part because you need to send a lot of them because they probably won't be really good. Just the copywriting, the quality of your copywriting probably won't really good because you don't
Yeah.
know what point to emphasize. You don't know how to how to outline your strength, how to his heart on the client's need. It's with time you develop this skill to to get to the point, write them, uh, write them more sharply and more, straightforward, straight to the point, so client understands that this guy is not messing around. He understands what he is doing, and at that point, it was nothing like this. It was just, plain text. And, hey, I have a lot of passion to video. Let me do this little cool video for you, and that's it. And a couple of links. But it's working. And another thing, I have an agency, and as I am having this channel, I decided to make a couple of experiments. And I just took. I just launched another Upwork profile for my, not me, it's my teammate. They launched their channels, the Upwork profile, and I helped them to build their first job. And it was a challenge. The first time I got in 4 days, and another in 2 days. It's once you get the understanding of you didn't have anything. You didn't have case studies. You didn't have anything. If you understand the sales copywriting, if you understand the how to click on the client's need, you can get the client like straight away.
Yeah, 100%. There's a few things I want to point out. Number one, a few minutes ago, you said your first job wasn't anything crazy. It wasn't huge. Like, I think there's a lot of value, and it's my personal favorite strategy that I teach to beginners is to go after fixed price jobs that are only in your country that are less than $200, because the amount of competition and the quality of competition for those jobs is so much lower than if you start searching for like high paying clients, high hourly rates, big fixed price projects. And I think some people just tell freelancers to like go right in and start hunting for big jobs. But the reality is, if you don't have any reviews, if you don't have any testimonials, no case studies, you have to get someone to trust you. And so it's a lot more likely to get somebody who has a small project to trust you than a huge project. And so I think that's awesome. And the second thing is
go ahead. Maybe some of your clients, some of your students, or do you have any examples of like a quick start on Upwork? Maybe you have a good story about that.
Yeah, I have a couple. Actually, just before I got on here 25 minutes ago, someone made a post in our free community saying they use the strategies, fixed price jobs, under $200 in their country only. This is a copywriter in the US. And she got her first client within a week of joining the community using those strategies. So like, I promise you it works. And it's just a lot easier to like go after those jobs opposed to, big clients, enterprise clients or whatever else. The other thing that you pointed out is you said that you actually went as a net loss in month one. And like, I think that's so awesome because like we already spoke about, the barrier of entry to Upwork is at the beginning. But once you get that first job or those first two, it becomes exponentially easier. And now, like, you have a video on your channel about how you got 240 invites on Upwork. And it's the same for me. I get about 60, 65 invites every 90 days. And once you do get all those reviews, clients just start coming to you. So it just gets exponentially easier, but it's 100% worth it to invest the money. And even if you go at a slight loss to just get those first few clients.
Yeah, absolutely. Because this is, I somehow made the study that just one positive review increases your chances of selling anything on internet by 3 times. So it's just a thing that people trust feedback, and it's this book of Daniel Kahneman, Thinking Fast and Slow, and the author pointed out that people are really overestimate the small numbers and underestimate the big numbers. And if you see that the freelancer have a GSS of 95%, like clients think, oh my God, I'm unlucky. It's probably I'm gonna be in this 5%, and I won't be satisfied with this client, with this freelancer work. and but the 95% is good. So it's really important to get this 100% GSS, because I'm struggling with that sometimes, because like my GSS is sometimes it's 95, 94, 96, but overall it's really important. Nothing more important than feedback on offer. Nothing. It's if you have 100% satisfaction of your client, then you can get so many jobs. Like how many you can handle, you're gonna get twice as much.
Yeah. No, it really is crazy. Like I have only had a 100% success score, so I'm not, quite sure about like 90, 95. But yeah, I can say like when clients message me, there's already so much trust built because they just take one look at my
Yeah,
profile and there's reviews there. And so like the thing you just said is reviews are it's like by far the most important thing. I couldn't agree
yeah,
more. Like if you get that first job and you do a bad job and they leave you a bad review, like you are screwed. It's going to be
yeah,
so tough to get that second job if you have one bad review and that's the first job you get. So yeah, I couldn't agree more, man. And one
yeah.
last question I had for you, or one of the last, is how has your strategy evolved over time? Because we talked about like how you got your first few clients, but as you've shifted into this agency, you've obviously done very, very well on Upwork. How has the strategy evolved in terms of like both managing your team and adding employees as you shifted from freelancer to agency, but also just like in terms of submitting proposals and how you handle Upwork?
Yeah, it's a good question because it changed a lot of things, and now I need to filter out the best clients, because I'm getting a lot of requests, like every single day I'm getting one or two requests, and some people are just, because we are applying to jobs and a lot of invites come in, so it's a constant flow of new leads, and you need to filter out the best, because we need to agree that not like on any other marketplace, we have some portion of the best client who is on track of good results, who have some vision of their a long-term partnership with a freelancer, and you can count on them and build with them a strong and long relationships. So it's really important to build systems to work with them in the long term. So before that, like the newbie freelancer, I was just hopping on a call. Hey, let's do the thing and let's discuss the what's your goal, and all right, let's go. Hey. And now we are trying to build, scope of work document. We need to discuss the goals of the project, the deliverables, who is doing what's like boundaries of each role, what should we do if it's what should be like a slam dunk, what's the best possible outcome, what's not so good, and a lot of things. Then we structured as a document, as a scope of work document. I hand it to the project manager, who is handed to the team, and then it's everyone on the team understands the objectives of the project. Everyone understands what's our goal, and once we achieved something, or maybe the project ended, we can discuss with the team and with the client what's been right, what's been wrong, and it's a good thing that it's not just um, it's easier for client and for team to evaluate their performance, because it's really important, because it's your effort. You always think, all right, I did the best, and I always thought before that I was doing the best, but it's probably won't like that. So if you see the clear guidance, you see the clear um, uh, goal for the project, you can think, all right, it wasn't my best performance. I should do better here and there, and I have absolutely the same question for you because it's really, I think that it's challenging it's a challenge for everyone, like who crossed this mark of starter. Or for starters, it's not that big deal. But when you're like a serious on Upwork, you need to build systems on how to perform, how to do a like massive big business on Upwork and overall as an agent or as a professional contractor.
Yeah.
So, what's your systems?
Yeah. So in terms of like how we manage Upwork specifically in terms of getting new clients, in the beginning, my first two jobs were each for $60 and they each took me like 4 or 5 hours. So less than ideal, but I got two really good reviews, which essentially was the reason that my third client hired me. And they were for $1,600 per month. So a pretty good size retainer. And once I got that third client and I got some more money, a few $1,000s earned on my profile, like we said, it gets a lot easier to get more and more clients coming in. You start getting some invitations. And then once you have a few good reviews, a few $1,000s, start applying to those bigger jobs, bigger clients. And, they take you seriously. And so that's kind of how we did it in terms of Upwork. And then at a certain point, you just get so many inbound leads that like applying to jobs isn't as important as it is in the beginning. That's one of the big things I love about Upwork is like opposed to Fiverr, like Upwork gives you the control. So like you have control over the input, which means you can control the output. Like you can submit 100 proposals today if you really want to sign more clients, or you can submit 2 proposals and maybe not, right? And so like that's kind of how we evolved in terms of Upwork is just like, submitting a good amount of proposals at first and then kind of phasing down or slowing down as we went. And having that control was really nice. And in terms of systems, so we offer paid ads and social media management. Those are kind of the two separate sides. The paid ad systems are not super complicated, to be honest. I have a really good media buyer and he takes care of a lot of stuff for me. And then we obviously meet on a weekly basis and even, oftentimes on a daily basis, just communicating how clients are doing. We offer 2 different packages. So that's another thing in terms of Upwork that I've found works really, really well is our monthly retainers are typically around $1,500 per month, but some clients on Upwork don't want to pay that, but they still want our help with paid ads. And so we have a nice downsell that's like $500 that's worked really, really well. So I think that's another key takeaway is once you do start selling a little bit more expensive of services, having some kind of downsell that's really easy for you to deliver, doesn't take a lot of time, and still gets the client somewhat of what they're looking for, puts them on the right path to achieve their goals, has been another thing that's been awesome for us. But in terms of systems, man, I'm probably not as organized as you might think. We built our team to about 8 people, which was a lot for me to manage. We don't have nearly as many people on the team as we did, maybe 5-6 months ago. We don't have project managers, so that was pretty much all me, which again is a lot. Yeah, man. In terms of systems, most of the systems are on the like client acquisition side. Like I have a virtual assistant who submits all of our proposals. So I guess that's a system, which means I'm not.
It's a nice thing. It's a nice thing because right now it's probably a lot of like another thing about the connect. Tell us honestly, whether do you limit your assistant with a number of connects she using for any any job? Because the budget is pretty significant.
Right.
Last year, I spent on connects for $4,700.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me.
It's not that small sum. For beginners, it's a lot, absolutely. So, what's your point on the boosting proposals at all, and how much do you boost, or how do you deal with that?
Good question. So I have a few things. So I would say like in the beginning, just like knowing that you're probably not going to have a good ROI in the first maybe 1 or 2 months and just like being okay with that because that's just kind of the nature of Upwork. I think you've got to get your first few reviews. And then after that, our current strategy is we want to boost at least like 60 to 70% of our proposals. because I also have a client account, which has been really helpful to kind of see the client's point of
Yeah,
view,
yeah,
and be able to optimize things accordingly. And so obviously when you boost a proposal, or excuse me, when a client submits a job or posts a
yeah,
job, they see all of the proposals just stacked on top of each other, and they just get a little preview of each one. And so boosting it is going to make your proposal show up in one of the top 4 spots. And especially if jobs are getting like, some of these jobs get 40, 50, 60, 70 proposals submitted. I can tell you as a client on Upwork, I do not look
yeah,
at the last like 10 to 20 proposals unless the position I'm hiring for is like really, really important. But most of the time I can find like, I usually try and interview 5 to 10 people if it's again, an important job. And usually I can find 5 to 10 pretty good proposals within the first like 30 to 40 proposals. So like boosting your proposal is really important because it's going to increase the amount of times the client sees it and sends you a message. That being said, you don't want to go like crazy with it.
yeah.
We try and boost our proposal while staying underneath 24 connects. Most of the time I
Mm-hmm.
find that I'm able to do that, but if the job, or like if to boost the proposal you're required to submit 25 connects or more, I just have my virtual assistant don't boost it, but we'll still apply to it. So that's kind of
Nice,
how we do the boosting
nice.
strategies.
It's yeah, boosting strategy, and you know that I can share some of my numbers. Maybe someone
Yeah.
gonna be interested in that. That in the 2023, I when I spent $4,700 on connects, I had never boosted, and I got 33% viewership of my proposal. 33, it's like every third
Yeah.
proposal I sent was viewed, just viewed, and it led me to 3% conversion rate to contract. So
That's awesome.
it's not that bad. It's like I'm a good copywriter right now, so it's not that bad. But in this year, rebuilt my system, and 50% of
Yeah.
top jobs that I'm applying for, I'm boosting with about 32 connect. So
Yeah.
and right now I'm getting 42% viewership and 5% CTR. It's
Yeah.
good numbers, and I'm decided to keep an eye on them because it's important to understand that like it's like you can be the best copywriter in the world, but if your proposal is not viewed, then you can't get jobs. Yeah, and
Yeah.
another thing that once I boosted a proposal, and a client on a call with me um, sad. And then I just decided, like, you've been on the first place, and I decided that Upwork somehow promotes the best freelancers. So I decided to hop on calling you straight away. And it was like, it was for me, it was important because if one client thinks that, maybe other also. I think that it's working like kind of an algorithm for the best.
Yeah.
You know that well, when you go to the Amazon or eBay or whatever, when you play something or Google, the best examples in the top. So it's in our psychology, and if it's
Yeah.
working, I would suggest that if you see the work that screams that it's a perfect fit, I would suggest to boost it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
It's interesting.
it's
My
a
numbers are pretty similar. We see about 40. So again, I offer 2 services, so it changes a little bit, but we see a 40 to 50% view rate. And then we get out of the proposals that are viewed about 25% of them to send us a message. So in total, 10 to 20% of proposals we submit will send us a message back. Roughly 33% of those messages book calls with me. The show up rate is like almost 100%. Like people, they're asking for our help, so people don't really no show.
yeah.
And then I close at about 35% on Upwork. So pretty similar to you. If I submit 100 proposals, I'm going to get 10 to 20. So let's say 15 messages. I'm going to book 5 calls and close 1 or 2 deals.
Yeah,
So yeah,
it's somewhere around like 5% CTR. It's a good conversion rate. Yeah, it's a nice thing. And another thing, it's like we are speaking about this topic. Who is writing for you? Who is writing proposals? Virtual assistant. And if he or she is writing it, whether she use AI or not. What kind of tools does she use? Because I have my opinion on that topic, but first I'll give
Yeah.
you a chance to tell your story, your approach inside your company.
Yeah. So we use the same proposal template system that I teach in the free course and community I have, which is basically a separate proposal template for each service that you offer. And so we have
Mm-hmm.
one for social media management. We have one for, we take some video editing projects. We have one for that. We have one for paid ads on Google, one for paid ads on Meta, which are really the only two platforms we do paid ads on. And so that allows us to templatize like 80% of our proposal and still have everything be extremely relevant, right? Because if we submit a proposal to a Facebook ads job, the Facebook ads proposal we have, it just talks about Facebook ads and our experience in Facebook ads, our average metrics, our results we get for clients who, we help with Facebook ads. And so everything is extremely relevant. And then at the beginning, our virtual assistant, she writes 1 to 3 sentences that are personalized based on the job description and what she read. She's awesome. She's been with us for years now. And yeah, that's just the system that's worked easiest for us. But like the two biggest things are, you need, if you're going to have somebody, manually write the proposal. So I don't use any AI. If you're going to have them, make sure they're, really good English, really good written English, and they have an understanding of your business. Like, she's been with us for years, so she knows exactly what we do for Facebook ads, exactly what we do for video editing, social media management, right? Which is really important because, she needs to have a good understanding of what we can actually do for that client.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, probably something like that. We also have a list of list of templates for cover letters for different jobs we apply, because you still have the best case studies for each of them, so it's already prepared. You still have the list of your accomplishments in this area. It's not evolving, like it's not updating on a monthly basis. It's updating once in a quarter. And one-liners, it's the first lines is really important to write in a good way, in a good fashion. Yeah. I'm just curious because as a client, I applied, I submitted a couple of jobs, and I'm getting a lot of AI generated proposals, and I just think that if freelancers if I am getting that someone is sending them, yeah. And I just wanted to, if someone is hearing us today, then please do not do that. Please do not that if you want to start on Upwork, the first thing you should do is to go to ChatGPT and ask how to write, and ask him to write an Upwork proposal. And when he did it, you just need to say that you just need to make that your proposal would be nothing like it, because it's you need to stand out. You need to stand out. I had the last experiment I got about winning the first job from the fresh account with no previous experience and then anything. And I just made the title for my teammate, and I said I write down the hardest YouTube editor in the game. And I was, writing all the proposals from the standpoint that, I'm super confident, and I'm sure that no one else is using the same language. You need to stand out, and AI won't give you anything like that. You need to just broadcast confidence, and AI is just like a slicky, I think, just basic, generic stuff. All right. Let me just, towards the ending of the thing, I would ask you, about your mindset about things. How do you see your uh, how do you see Upwork as a part of your like long-term business? As what's like place it's for it in your long-term goals, career, and how do you approach it?
Yeah. So Upwork has been amazing for me. It's really like the way I started my agency and was able to build it to $15,000. We got all our work from Upwork, really no other outside sources. And now, pretty much my full focus, or soon to be my absolute full focus, is on helping other businesses and other freelancers use Upwork to make more money for themselves. And so we have a free course and community hosted on School. So link it on my channel to go join it again completely for free. And yeah, that's what I plan on doing for a while. I really like helping other people in all parts of the world use Upwork to make more money. And it really started when I wrote an ebook in February, so like seven-ish months ago. And we ended up having thousands of downloads from like 100 different countries, which is kind of like the way I sparked this whole thing. And yeah, so for the time being, my plan is just to help other people use Upwork to sign more clients and make more money.
Nice, nice. It's really a nice thing to hear. And I want to also tell it from my perspective that there are probably a lot of people who are located in not really prosperous parts of the world, and where you cannot like reach a lot of things to build a career and to build kind of wealth, just to make good money for living and enjoy your life and build a career. So if I like the part story of my channel is that uh, you can start actually business with no experience located when like where you are, start with skills that you have right now, and step by step build your authority, build your trustworthiness as a contractor, and it's Upwork is been like amazing to me, and hopefully it's can work for our listeners, for viewers of on YouTube, and I wish all of you the best of luck on this endeavor.
Yeah, for sure. And the last question is, where can my viewers find you? Is Twitter the best spot? Obviously, you're on YouTube, but I'll put all the links to your stuff in the comments. But what's the best way for people to follow you?
I'm active on Twitter and YouTube, both left hand. You can find me. I'm sharing like on Twitter daily, and on YouTube I'm active as well.
Awesome. Well,
Thanks for having me. It's been really nice to talk to you, to communicate all our, because we are probably on similar stage of our things, like similar money, similar challenges, similar size of our teams, and it's a pleasure to speak to like-minded people, and we're on the same track.
yeah, absolutely. It's been awesome. Thank you so much for joining us today. I'll put links to all of your socials in the description. If you're watching this, make sure to go follow Anton. He's got some awesome stuff on Twitter as well as YouTube. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video.